Everything you learned in history class was a lie. Well, maybe not everything, but they skipped the best parts. Introducing Stupiracy, where stupidity meets conspiracy. Ever heard of the Olympic marathon that nearly killed its runners? Or the time a pope put another pope's corpse on trial? Join me, Scott Rizzuto, and Tim McKernan as we uncover the most outrageous historical moments and mind-blowing conspiracies you won't believe actually happened. Tune into Stupiracy for your weekly dose of historical absurdity. Available wherever you get your podcasts. Remember, history is dumb, but laughing at it is smart.
I'd like to open by saying one thing.
Yep.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
I've heard it all now. That's all. The announcement we got just an hour ago or so. I've heard it all now.
Regarding baseball?
Postponement of the Twins?
No.
In what sense do you mean this?
I mean the announcement from the Brooklyn Park police chief. I have heard it all now is all I'm saying.
Well, explain yourself because I'm not following.
It has to do with the riot.
The taser instead of the gun.
Yep.
That's I've heard that. I've heard it all now. So it's so preposterous. It's probably true.
Yep.
That's anyway.
I do have the official statement from Dustin Morris, if you guys would like it.
Sure.
Yes.
The Minnesota Twins issued the following statement regarding the decision to postpone today's scheduled game against the Boston Red Sox. Quote, out of respect for the tragic events that occurred yesterday in Brooklyn Center and following the additional details in this evolving situation, the Minnesota Twins have decided it is in the best interest of our fans, staff, players, and community to not play the game. The decision was made by the Twins after consultation with Major League Baseball and local and state officials. Information regarding the rescheduling of today's game and corresponding ticket details will be released in the near future.
I guess I'm in the minority here because I think this is a bad precedent to establish.
I think they were told by the city and the governor and everybody else not to play. And I would imagine we're going to hear the same thing from the Timberwolves.
And the Wild, because I think the Wild have a home game against St. Louis tonight.
The Wild, they probably don't have safety concerns over there, I wouldn't think. But
nobody's there.
The Wolves I don't think will play tonight. Welcome to town, A-Rod. A-Rod was supposed to be there tonight and wave to the fans. So,
But
anyway.
Pat, if you're going to postpone this one, what makes you think you'll play tomorrow?
You might not play tomorrow anyway, since it's going to be 37 and snowing. So they might end up playing doubleheaders on Wednesday and Thursday, both, or because they only play 7 innings in them, or maybe go someplace else and play. You know, get everybody on a plane and go to Kansas City.
This is from Blois Olson, City of
Blois.
Sorry, Blois Olson. Sorry, and I know he's a
B.
listener.
Lois. I think it's B. Lois.
I've been sorry.
Okay, what's Blois? What's Blois? say?
Blois, I'm really sorry. City of St. Paul will also issue a 7 p.m. curfew. Skyways closed. Orders have been transmitted to the city clerk. It likely means the postponement of the Minnesota Wild game
Well,
this
what
season.
in God's name are these people hearing that we don't know?
Well, we're worried that what happened last night in various parts of Minneapolis and the north suburbs will spread across the Twin Cities. You throw this announcement out to them that on how this kid was killed, and you don't want you don't want 3,500 people walking in the X and 10,000 walking in Target Field and not knowing what's going to happen when they leave. So
is it official that we've postponed the Wild game?
Well, if there's a 7 p.m. curfew, how do they?
I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, how do you not postpone the game? So,
Holy mackerel!
yeah, this was, it's never good what happened now, and it couldn't come at a worse time in the local environment. That's for sure.
No, the optic is beyond comprehension.
So, meanwhile,
Other than that,
I've been saying this all day today, Joe.
Yeah.
There's nothing more fun in baseball. when you have a bad closer. When you have a bad, it's the angst, the way it unifies all of us. You know, you can hate Trump or love Trump. You can hate. You know, you can be old or young, casual or not casual. When the closer's bad, we're all united.
Yes, we are.
We're all united. Ron, nobody united this town more. Puck united us, yes. But so did Ron Davis.
Yes, he did. To throw in the Davis.
Throw in the Davis.
He united all of us. He united even us objective observers. He united us.
So we're going to get united behind Colomb?
Alexander Colomé.
Colomé.
Because you know what? I think it's also a tribute to modern communication and social media outlets that Alexander can build up this much venom after 9 games. It took RD like a year, right? Because back then you newspapers and talk radio, a little sports talk and stuff like that. But it wasn't instant. It wasn't like, did you see that jackass just now? It wasn't like we had no Twitter to communicate our venom immediately when he gave up a home run to Mattingly.
You had to put an effort to complain.
Yes,
You had to really you had to meet, be
yes,
social.
You had
that
to
kind of
wait.
stuff.
You had to, there was there wasn't even an internet. The internet
Right.
didn't exist.
You had to wait for that Monday night or Sunday night
Yes,
sports
right.
talk show to come on.
Yes, it was, so.
Throw in the Davis.
But the bad closer is a really, and a lot of teams don't even use one anymore. They don't have that specific guy anymore. They kind of move it around. But what is the same as always, Joe, is with the bad closer, the manager always sticks with him and says, he's our guy. We're going to stick with him until he doesn't. Right. And then then he's like, sent out and
The closer is the new kicker.
yes,
The closer is the new
closer's
kicker.
the kicker, yes.
Wasn't that the case with LaTroy? Because remember, TK kept running him out there the last year TK was, and he just said, he's our guy. You got to stick with LaTroy.
And then they switched to Eddie in August, and LaTroy was done. But that's when LaTroy and I, pals now, get along great. Call
What was
him,
your
got
line
his
about
text
him?
phone. Well, the one that got me in trouble with him, I said he's gone from the worst starter in the American League to the worst closer in the American League, which is
and he was offended by that.
I was, yeah.
This was a 6-0 lead.
Yes, this was bad. This was a bad loss. It was the other team had no intentions of winning the game, and you made them get interested, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So this Shoemaker, I was up at St. John's watching the Tommies and the Johnnies play for maybe the last time.
When was this?
Yesterday, baseball game yesterday.
Oh,
So I didn't
baseball
get to
game.
see
All right.
Shoemaker, but I guess he can bore you to death, huh?
I was only able to listen to it on the radio because I was driving.
Slow worker, I guess.
Yeah.
Were you watching, Joe?
Well, I would click from the Masters and then
Oh,
in
that's
my
right.
disbelief almost be feared to turn back to see what happened.
Although, and I know you'll find this shocking, Pat, but based on the reaction from the radio broadcast crew, he was getting squeezed a little bit early.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if he was getting squeezed on radio, I bet he was really getting squeezed on television then. But that's the way that happens. But yeah, he got thrown out for complaining to the umpire as the guy was running around the bases, right?
Oh, is that why?
Seager after he got thrown out.
I didn't know
I didn't know
that.
that.
He said, he walked down and said,
I didn't
come
like
on,
that call.
that was
Yeah.
a strike. Come
Got
on,
it.
that was a strike. You got to call that one or something. But he'd already complained. So
Okay.
Gonzalez didn't like that he was now complaining again about the same thing he'd already
The ump should
complained
have come
about.
back with, that was a strike too. The one you just threw that went sailing over the fence.
Yes.
That was a strike.
Yes.
I want to return to the Twins and what's happening in the Twin Cities, but I've got to get some Masters observations off my chest.
I did not get a chance to watch a lot of Sunday, but let's go.
I probably should have made this observation in November 2020 when Dustin won, but the absence of people crowding around the greens gave us an opportunity to see the greens like we've never seen them before. They're impossible. They're impossible to putt. They're impossible. And two, the absence of people along 16 made 16 look almost unrecognizable.
Just because
16
you're
look
used
com-
to see those the lanes of people.
The whole
Yeah.
the whole area looks larger. You mean, or
Yeah,
what?
it absolutely looked different. And finally, Hideki, you've been over here stuffing your pockets with money for 10 years. You finished fifth to Jordan Spieth in 2015. You were the low amateur in 2011. Will you learn to speak a few words of English? This is ridiculous.
I would guess he probably can, but he prefers not to. He prefers not to be quoted in that manner. A lot of foreign players don't, who can speak who speak the language, would rather do it through an interpreter.
Just so they don't trip up or sound.
Yes, or misinterpret what you said to them or something.
And he
like that.
makes Dustin Johnson look terribly exciting.
Well, I picked him to win the Masters, but it wasn't this year. It was about 2 years ago when he was playing
he's
really
been a
good.
strong pick for
He's
years.
really
He's a hell of a player.
he can roll it when he gets going too.
Yeah, he's a hell of a player.
But the thing about that, if they can get the greens dried out, yes, they are impossible to putt. I mean, you got. I see.
You saw the undulations.
Yes.
Like I've never seen them before.
But I don't even think it's putting there when the greens are real fast because it's just properly touching the ball. It's
Right.
not. You're not even stroking it really, unless you're under. If you're above the hole, you're not putting. You're just tapping it and hope it tumbles onto the right line. So,
I got another
but
observation.
that's the only way to defend themselves now too. Length doesn't do that anymore, so they have to defend themselves.
I question seriously whether Will Zalatoris is even an Earthling.
No, I did say on Twitter that if he wins, next year's champions dinner is going to be raisins and seeds. Jesus.
But he is bird-like.
He looks like a model. He looks
Well,
like
no,
a
he looks like a
female
bird.
model.
Yeah, he
it
does.
does.
He looks like a bird.
He can't weigh 125, can he?
He's
He's tall.
164 according to the literature, but I'm not buying it.
He's got a lot of change in his pocket if he's
Yeah.
164. I'll
How
tell
can
you
he
that.
hit like that though when he's so small?
Because it has nothing to do with anything except a sweet swing.
What you generate from the shoulder to the ball is basically what it is. I mean, Rory, who's small,
Right.
was hitting it way beyond everybody 3-4 years ago. By the way, it was the great Scott Korzenowski, who's a big golf aficionado, who told me about 3 years ago, Rory will never win the Masters because he can't putt, and I think he's right.
Who sunk that long putt? It wasn't
Well, Rook,
Tiger-esque.
That's a tough question.
No, it was one that must have been a 60-footer or something like that. It was a.
I
don't
didn't
remember.
get to
I don't
see
remember
much.
which guy it was, but it was all the way across the green, and it went down. It was an eagle putt. I don't remember what hole. I was impressed by that. I didn't watch much of it.
As I was listening to it on the radio, and Greg Norman was the analyst, and when Matsuyama hit it in the water on 15, and they talked about his, they started talking about collapses. Greg never volunteered the information that he was the champion of collapses.
Six-shot lead he started with.
Maybe he couldn't talk because his hands were around his throat.
I think they do the radio. I don't think they do it on site. I think they do it somewhere. But I've always wondered what happens when him and Faldo are at the same event.
Boy.
There's some tension?
Does Greg make sure not to sit at the same table? Yeah, I was there for that one. Wow, everybody. Greg came in and did his interview and talked for 30 minutes and poured his heart out. And every golf writer in the country wrote about what a high-class guy he was. I disemboweled him for the greatest joke ever. Let's not forget what we just witnessed because he was a nice guy.
Right.
It was the greatest joke in golf history.
Oh, my word.
So you're saying what happened to Blair Walsh when the kindergarten class had him
Yes,
come?
right. Same thing.
Yeah, got it.
That irritated the hell out of me. And by the way, There was another guy that did we let him kick again the whole next year too?
Oh yeah. Well, I think they cut him halfway through the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But of course, we're going to stick by him. He's our kicker. Well, we're going with him. And then,
I mean, Norman is better than Vandevelde because Norman was so much better of a player, wouldn't you say, Joe?
Yes.
To have him choke. Yeah. I mean, Vandevelde didn't know. I mean, he went nuts.
That was the
Well,
Frenchie,
his
right?
his brain just left.
Yes,
I think he was thinking about Monique.
yes, right.
Yes,
Who
that's
did
right.
that bit for
That
us?
was me.
You did
Yeah, that was me. He
Well, I
was
was thinking about Monique.
yes.
I stood in the water with my pants rolled up thinking, where's Monique?
Where is Monique to bathe me?
What was the last major we had here? 09? I mean, no, we had another
Ryder Cup.
We had the Ryder
We
Cup.
had Ryder Cup, but the PGA in 09, I think Vandevelde was still here. Maybe it was 02.
Yeah.
But I got a chance to sit and talk. He was okay talking about it. He's still.
Oh, you went right for the jugular?
Still kicking.
Hey, how about you?
Still kicking.
Throwing her up there.
Hey,
I'm here to rip you.
No, I'm just here to get all these years later to get an explanation of what were you thinking.
No, the Ryder Cup was when you were always talking about how much you loved Europe. Go Europe because you hated Davis Love so
Davis
much.
Love, yes, the captain. I hated captain.
Go Europe, he says. We're on press row at Hazeltine, and all the American reporters are like, who is this clown over
Come
here?
on, Europe. You guys have never met Davis Love. How could you root for him? But what I really made me mad about Davis was what he did to Hazeltine as a golf course. That he made it as easy as it could possibly be, so that they could, the Europeans hit it straighter than they did, but they made more babies, more
Birdies.
Birdies.
Well, babies
Not
too,
babies,
maybe.
babies too. But
So you're not a fan of Hazeltine as a course?
no, yes, but they made it easy.
Oh.
Right, Joe? I mean, you watched it. They didn't.
Yeah.
No rough.
Right.
No rough. No, big wide fairways, easy greens.
Where's the U.S. Open this year? Whistling Straits?
No, it's down in St. Torrey Pines.
This year?
Yes,
back.
there were signs all over for it when I was down there a couple weeks ago.
all right.
Yeah.
But does Whistling Straits have the Whistling Straits
Has
has
the
the Ryder
Ryder
Cup?
Cup, yes.
Yeah, has the Ryder
You know
Cup.
what that means? If we get the U.S. Open at Torrey Pines, we get a little primetime golf.
That's right. But you know what having the Ryder Cup at the end of September and early October means at Whistling Straits?
Ooh.
You could have a little wind,
A little
blowing
snow.
off. You could have a little wind blowing off the big lake there. Wow!
And when we talk about the Ryder or the U.S. Open, Rook, I'll be able to give shot by shot since I'm the one of us four that had the chance to golf there. a
That's
couple years
right.
ago.
You,
Yeah.
you know
Torrey
it.
Pines.
Oh, that's right.
With his
Yes.
right.
You
his
did
clear
play.
bag of golf balls, plastic Ziploc.
All just to irritate the mayor.
Boy, did that work? Because I've never played Torrey Pines.
They used to have a system at Masters when you've been there a few years. They could, you would be invited to enter the lottery. Everybody could enter the lottery, but if you had some seniority and had never played,
Okay.
there was like a different thing. And they asked me once, do you want, there's
wanna
probably
go?
a good
Yeah,
there you
chance.
go.
There's probably a good chance you play. I said, no, I would not do that to this place.
I
Thank
have
you.
to turn this
I
way
don't-
to hit it that
Right,
way.
I do not want to have one of these caddies
Remember him,
trying to act polite to me
right?
when he wants to kill himself.
Hit another one, boss. You on vacation?
Right, hit another one. Yeah, that was. I said no. This is, and then I heard that you want everybody to play fast. You only got a certain time, and they, hurry it up and. I said no. That's fine. I've enjoyed watching.
On his third shot in the 99 Open Championship, Van de Velde's club got tangled in the rough on
What
his
was it,
downswing.
99?
99. And his ball flew into the Bury Burn, a water hazard. He removed his chaussures and his chaussette, his shoes and socks, and stepped through shin-deep water as he debated, Why was Monique not my caddy today? He tried to hit the ball out of the berry burn, which guards the 18th green. Ultimately, he took the drop and then hit his fish shot on the green side bunker. Van de Velde shot to within 6 feet of the hole, and he made a putt for triple bogey 7. And he went home to Monique
Yes,
to nurse
he
his
did.
wounds.
A handsome and
A
friendly
double
guy.
bogey. It's all he had to do to win, and he got a triple bogey.
If he just takes a drop out of the water and hits it up there, he makes 6 no problem and wins the golf tournament. So
Monique was very disappointed.
it is an amazing game. Hey, what I didn't see Xander. What was he trying to do? Hit it to the left of that flag that they always have on Sunday on 16, Joe.
Yes.
So he was trying to stuff it in there.
He was trying to gamble. He knew he was running out of time, and he thought, the hell with it, I'm going for it.
But at that course, you can spin it down in there about 5 feet if you just hit it over the right. If you hit the right spot on the right side of the green, you can spin it down there and make a little 6-footer.
Well, the Noyes take over.
Yeah,
The Noyes.
yeah. He said he doesn't regret it. I saw that. Well, yeah, you all say that. When it went in the water, you regretted it. I'm sure.
His post tournament remarks were pretty cool. He was pretty cool about it.
What? So, what did Matsuyama bogey both 17 and 18? I know he bogeyed 18. Did he bogey 17 too?
I don't remember.
Because he was 12, and then all of a sudden he wins it at 10. That's I don't know. I'm sure they're happy in Japan, though. Did you see he paid tribute to no Japanese golfers, but to Kenta Maeda and a few other Japanese
Did he really?
baseball players? He said, you know, he paid tribute to baseball players, the heroes of.
Does
which
he live in
seemed
this
odd.
country?
I assume. I don't know. He plays here.
Look that up, please.
He plays here, so you know he's.
Well, I'm going to repeat it. Gal, dang it. Give me about 10 words in English.
Well, you
Got
know.
some professor up there wearing a beanie trying to interpret for him. And not much was said that was very interesting.
On his final round, the 12th hole, he bogeyed, birdied 13, parred 14, bogeyed 15, bogeyed 16, 17 par, and
Okay.
bogeyed 18.
So
Did Tiger bogey 18 in 2019?
I can't remember. I
Yes. Just say yes.
That was in
Just say yes,
Colombia.
it'll shut him up.
Hey, do me a favor.
Yes.
Look at his wiki page and what's it say about his residence.
All right. Let's do that.
Matsuyama.
Matsuyama.
My pick,
Matsuyama.
whatever the hell. It's
We got him.
my pick. My pick 2 months ago was the fat Korean chap, but he ended up finishing like 4 from the bottom. His game went to hell. About the same time I got on the bandwagon, he ended up terrible. But he's fun to watch when he's playing good. But
Can we get back to the events of the Twin Cities? Everyone's got me nervous now. Dave St. Peter must be getting information from high up that says you guys would be crazy to have this game today.
oh yeah, well no, I think that when they've issued a curfew for 7, now they're playing at 1, so they could be done presumably. There's no guarantee.
There's no guarantee.
No, but I just don't think that they don't know what's going to happen downtown today with this. I don't know if people are going to. I don't know if the protesters and the angry mob of folks are going to say, well, that's something we need. That's an explanation we never thought of, and say it's so stupid that it's time to go home. But I think they're expecting trouble.
Joe, we should ask Pat what we were talking about earlier on Garage Logic. Pat, Andy Mannix works for your newspaper, and apparently the Star Tribune was denied access to the Brooklyn Center press conference today. Yet there were media members from, I'm assuming covering the Chauvin trial, from all over the country and the world that were allowed access. Do you know why that would be the case?
No.
Okay.
No idea. He's a hell of a reporter. He gets right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
He's out there. I don't know. Did he come up with some information yesterday that they were upset that they didn't want in? I don't know what. I'd have to check. I have no idea.
How does Brooklyn Center handle this? How do you walk this back and say, my God, what an accident. We don't know what to tell you. Good Lord.
I think they should give the lady 2 days to maybe move. Although I wonder, she might get charged with something.
Well, there were rumors that she committed suicide. That's been debunked. She has not committed suicide.
Very off the topic, but just a point of information. He does not list a current residence. It does show his birthplace as Japan,
Hideki.
but does not show a current residence.
He's only about 30, isn't he?
He is.
He's been
Well, he's 29.
Is that all?
He'll be
Really?
30
Wow,
in
boy.
February.
Boy, he came over here when he was 18 or 19 then, huh?
Pat, I've been picking him for a major for 6 or 7
Man,
years.
he used to really be able to roll it when he first got over here. He could putt, man.
Every year I'd come
So-
up with 5 players who've never won a major and submit that to my people, and Hideki was always in my 5.
He won the Asian Amateur Championship in 2010 and 11. So he would have been 19 at that time.
And then in 2011, he was low amateur at the Masters.
Yeah. But we still don't know where he lives.
Well, he's been a money-making machine.
I
I'll tell you
think I think when he goes home to Japan, he probably doesn't fly
Coach?
or commercial. I think he's made enough money to fly private.
I need to ask you a question because I was asked this by the Gopher basketball diehard fan, also known as my father, on Friday. The transfer portal in college basketball, Patrick. We just lost. Liam Robbins has just transferred to Vanderbilt.
Okay.
And I'm wondering, is this here to stay without sitting out a year deal?
Now everybody gets to go this year but now starting next year, supposedly you get one free transfer, and then if you're a graduate, you get another free transfer.
Okay.
But you don't have to sit out. Yes.
Okay.
That's here. But it hasn't been voted in yet. But everybody's just doing it.
Okay.
But hell, what do we care? Because we just got a guy from New Hampshire.
Yeah, that's right.
So far, the Gophers. I'm rooting for Ben Johnson, nice fella. But the transfers have come from Columbia, Lafayette, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
New Hampshire,
Powerhouse of New Hampshire.
and Bill and Mary. William and Mary. Bill and Mary, as we call it. I don't, and we're fighting mightily to get the guy from Division II Northern State, who's supposed to be a really good jumper and stuff. But I don't think, I think it's going to take a little while to build this.
Yeah.
And I think as everyone else bails out, the odds of signing Chet Holmgren become smaller and smaller, wouldn't you?
Yes, I would. And by the way, you're reminding me, how Minnesota sports is it of us to send 3 teams to the Frozen Four and all of them lost?
Fall right on their face.
Your alma mater had the best team.
I know.
They had the best team. They should have beaten St. Cloud.
Yes, they should
Now,
have.
that
And
was UMass, not Boston College.
Yeah, that's
UMass.
UMass, which, by the way, has not been like a hockey school for more than about 30 years.
No, but it
25
still
years.
sounds Catholic.
No, University
it's
of Massachusetts at
University of
Amherst.
Massachusetts.
That's where John Calipari.
Didn't you get that?
The mass joke?
Sounds,
No, I
it
didn't.
still sounds Catholic.
UMass.
Yeah, I got you.
I missed that. That was so stupid. I missed it. Sorry. I was there once to see Calipari when before we had a Final Four here, and UMass was rated #1 in the country.
Was that when he was real slick back then?
Oh God, was he slick?
I don't like Massachusetts people winning anything.
Right.
I would have bought another Dodge Colt from him, Joe.
Really?
He was slick, and I told you that he had all the beat people covering him. There was 3 of them. They were all young women, and man, could he charm them. I mean, he would answer. They would ask a question, and he would answer it like it had come down from John Wooden himself. This was it was so astute. It was unbelievable. That's all I'm saying about it is he could charm you.
Who was the other guy? The honest Bruce Pearl. Was he very much like Bruce Pearl?
I didn't ever dealt with Bruce except at the Final Four here,
Okay.
but he was Bruce was
The honest Bruce Pearl,
Yeah,
who had more violations than anybody in sports.
yeah, he got fired and now he's at Auburn and his assistant Chuck Person gets investigated by the FBI
that's right.
and Bruce Pearl's still working there. So. Anywho, Here's, though, my A-Rod comparison. I already made this today. We love BSers and slick guys in this town, don't we, Rook?
Yes.
I mean, Joe?
Yep.
Rook?
And I agree with you.
And I said to Jet, we got 1-2 miles down the road, the 1.5 miles down the road that we love. And in fact, I predict that the first time A-Rod is in town for a couple of days, we are suddenly going to see him and PJ Fleck together.
I knew that's where you were
He
going.
and PJ are going to be together.
think so?
Yes. He's going to show up to get in the photo to tell A-Rod what an admirer he's been, even though we'll forget the fact you were one of the great steroid cheats in the history of man.
Positivity is going to change this culture, period.
Yes.
When you get inside the football walls, you're going to have positivity hit you right in the face.
Boy, spring football's been quiet. I wonder if, I guess there's just too damn much going on. For
Are we
anybody to
inside
care.
the spring football
We
walls?
are in the spring football. Well, I think they
Pat.
might have taken Easter week off. So.
Pat,
Yes.
can Taylor arrange a sale that keeps the team here?
No, he can. There's a $50 million buyout of the Target Center lease, which is chump change. And the legal people who have been consulted with say you cannot write anything into a purchase agreement that would be too limiting, because then I don't know.
I heard
Well,
Johnny.
they're gone then.
No,
man.
I heard Johnny Krasinski make a great point yesterday, and he said to try to calm Wolves fans
Yeah.
down a little bit, just saying that because the league took it on the chin so bad last year, they are far more interested in expansion because
Yes.
they'll get $2 billion in expansion fees
Seattle
for
and-
Seattle or Vegas
yeah,
or whatever.
He can't go to Seattle or Vegas because they're going to expand there. Yes.
Right. So that's, I think, the point he
So
was
they'd
trying
have
to
to
make.
find someplace else.
You know, and
Yeah, but
this is still a top.
not. This isn't A-Rod's cup of tea
no,
living
this
here.
is not gay. Right? No, you're right.
Why does he have an interest?
He wants
Because
to own
he
a
wants
team.
to be A-Rod.
Yeah.
He tried to buy the
Has
Mets.
to be a big
with-
shot.
Are he and J-Lo still together or not? There was
don't have no
rumors that
idea.
they'd split, but then they both denied that they've split. And I saw our original story said his former partner, Jennifer Lopez, and then the former was removed. So in a later edition, so apparently they're claiming that they are still together.
Well, those two really don't have a good track record in that department over the years. So I would say that their longevity isn't probably.
The way I've looked at it is I've always thought they deserve each other.
I gotcha.
Oh, I got no issues with J-Lo. What the? Why are we? She's fine.
My dad had
She's not as big a phony as he is.
my dad had a little glimmer of hope that they had broken up. And he informed me
Bob
that
think he had a chance?
Bob
or
thought
what?
he had a little shot at J-Lo, especially if he's coming to town now. He's probably rolling down there.
But if she won't come to town if she's broken up with him, so
I could see J-Lo taking Bob to Walmart to buy little Smokies.
Yep,
and,
yep. And you don't even have to. You just put him right on that cart, and he'll just go right through the every barrier.
I hear she's fond of wooden legs. I don't know
Why
if
not?
that's true.
Huh? Why not? You
Why
can
not?
put the stump on there. Let's go. Let's go
Pat
out
know-
dancing, J-Lo.
Does Pat know the story of Bob when you took Bob shopping the other day or a while back when he had the motorized cart?
Yeah, we went to Walmart, and he has a walker, and I was going to do everything in my power to kind of be the go-between the motorized carts and my dad, so Bob wouldn't see the carts there.
Oh, really?
And so he's clumping in. You know, it's every clump. It sounds like somebody with a stump is walking in with the walker. He doesn't. He picks it up and moves it. And I tried to be.
He doesn't have Walker style.
He doesn't have walkers. He's not a very elegant walker. And as I tried to stay in between them,
You didn't want him to see the driving
yeah,
thing.
because that means that would promote you get to use one of these. And I was there to help him. And he just basically did the walker into me to kind of push me over to the carts. And then once he got on the cart, he was if you were in the milk aisle, you better get out of the aisle
Watch
because
out,
he's
here
coming
comes
through.
Bob.
But the best part was when he stopped at the sausage, like the I don't know, a Schweigert section, breakfast sausage. As a miracle, he got up and walked over without a walker to retrieve as many sausages and bacon.
It's a
as he could.
miracle.
It was a miracle.
He can walk.
I can't blame him for that, man. Jimmy Dean sage breakfast sausage.
those are
That's
good.
pretty good. The sage one.
I
yeah.
took him to the eye doctor the other day, and I hit the button, the automatic handicap button, and he was going through, and it wasn't fast enough. So that walker just hit the door to try to force the door open. He doesn't have good walker etiquette.
The game of flaws had a big eruption about 4 days ago.
Oh, no.
Oh no!
And it took a little while for it to smooth out.
Yeah.
But by this morning, I was taking a whole pound of Thielen bacon, frying it up, and scrambling eggs for
There you
breakfast.
go.
How about that?
So and was lauded for the quality of the bacon.
Nothing says
can't-
olive branch more than bacon. More than good bacon.
Especially Thielen's or Newski's bacon.
Yes.
One
No,
of the
no,
two.
man, you got to get your double thick bacon at Grundhof.
Well, there's
Oh, well,
that.
that's pretty
Yeah,
good.
that's-
I'm not a big thick bacon guy, but I bet it's good. I don't
on a
like the thick
BLT?
because the thick bacon.
it to the list.
The thick bacon, you gotta make sure you. I don't want any of the fat left in bacon. I want the.
You want a crispy.
I want the
right.
crispy.
So
yeah.
we're up to
Oh, I like chewy bacon.
we're
Do
up
you really? Wow.
Yeah.
We're up to thick bacon, paperwork, sword movies, IL, not DL. He doesn't like that.
Right.
We got a bunch
Fruit
of
that squirts.
Fruit that squirts.
Yep.
I must have added
You
another
want
list
to
somewhere.
know something that was extremely popular a couple of years ago for about 3 years with the youth?
What's that?
Pork belly. That pork belly, awful.
It's too fatty.
Why do they like it?
I don't know. It's too fatty for me.
But it's something like Bourdain used to love pork
Right,
belly.
right.
and
What do you
stuff
got,
like
man?
that.
Pork
Those
bellies.
guys that love fat, man, I don't get it. I am fat,
like
but I
fat.
don't like fat.
I knew a guy from New York, or actually he was from Philly, but he did business in New York, and he was he traded pork belly. He was
Matt,
good
don't
stockbroker.
go there. You'll get fired. You're not supposed to be talking about Eddie Murphy movies.
that was actually Dan Aykroyd. It was trading places.
This is for. Oh, go ahead. Pat.
I did when I was driving back from Collegeville yesterday and did detour to Portillo's in Maple Grove and got myself one of those. Maxwell Pub Polish sausages with onions. Ooh, get yourself one of those the next time you're near a Portillo's.
They fry the
Man,
onions too at Portillo's,
yes,
don't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was sautéed, but it's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
This is
Damn.
from Bob Nightingale, a fellow Wyomaniac like Patrick Royce. Minnesota Twins president Dave St. Peter, quote, emotions across our community, emotions across our organization are raw. So based on the events of the last 24 hours and as information has started to come to light, playing a baseball game today felt a little less important, end quote. The Twins also say there are no current plans to move the Red Sox series away from Target Field.
Well,
So there is that.
now, Joe, back to the Twins. What are you going to do with the big first baseman?
I don't know how long I'm going to hang in there.
3 for 34.
I know. I just don't know how long I can take it.
Has one strikeout in 23, at least one in 23 consecutive games.
Wow.
He's nearing an all-time record. And now, earlier on, he wasn't chasing as many pitches. He was just missing them. Now he's panicking and throwing swinging at pitches in the dirt.
I
and
know
stuff.
that Cruz was brought in to kind of help mentor him.
Don't blame Cruz. You
No,
know, he
it's not
can't
his
help
fault
him.
at all.
No.
But you know who honestly he should listen to more and his approach is Mauer. He has to stop trying to pull everything 600 feet. He has to stop doing that. That's what gets him into trouble.
He's got a little something with the hands when he gets started that doesn't send him towards the baseball, is my theory. He's not.
Interesting.
I mean, look at him. When he loads up, the pitch is already on the way. He loads up and he's got that little. I've always said, baseball and golf with the hands, that 6 inches of wrists and hands. When you get to the ball are all that counts. If you can't do that, you can't do that. He can't do it anymore. I don't know what they're going to do with him.
Well, I
But
know
at least he's a very mediocre first baseman.
Well, are we throwing in the towel here on the
I
club?
don't. Well,
Davis?
God, he was terrible. Joe, last year he had 204
I know.
with strikeouts 45 or 6% of the time, and now this. and he didn't hit any. He had. Did he hit 100 in spring training? I think he had 102 in spring training or something. I mean, this
against non-big league pitching.
Yes, I mean it's.
Wow.
I don't know. I'd call up his old friend James Rousen down there in Miami and say, You got a pitcher that we can use in the fourth inning and a blowout. We'll send him to you. You know,
it might come to that.
But I don't know if you can get rid of him. I don't know what you do. You can't option him to the minors because he's got too much experience. Plus, his options are probably went up. But if you've had 5 years or more, you can't go to.
Well,
the
he's
minors.
bound to get hurt at some point here, right?
I'd suggest that he does. I would. You know, Rocco, it doesn't take much. If he scoops a throw out, you
true.
can say, "Did that hit your toe?"
Oh,
yeah, it did.
Oh, my arm.
Yeah, 10-day DL.
broken.
10-day DL. Let's see if we can get you straightened out here. You know, with Rocco, it wouldn't. We call it the RL here, the Rocco list.
Well, what is Rocco saying about this?
I can't remember the last quote I saw from him on it, but it's you know, he always, just like he was talking about Colomé yesterday. He's our guy. We're sticking with him, unless we aren't.
Until we're not, right?
But I would sit him for a few days and let the other chubby guy, Astudillo, play first base.
Speaking of hurt players, is Donaldson coming back?
I don't think they'll bring him back in this weather. I think they were going to play him. They were going to play him this week, but on a wet field and 35 degrees if they're playing tomorrow. I don't think I'm bringing him back with bad muscles when it's 35 and snowing on a wet field. Are you? I'm not. I don't
So
think
Boston's going to be tucked away in a hotel. The
Yep.
Twins are going to wherever they live. And the streets of Minneapolis have to be vacant by 7 p.m. Is that correct?
That's what we hope, yeah.
And then we're also hearing that in St. Paul.
You know what I think is bad about curfews? Because it then encourages people to violate them, to show your defiance, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Sneak out the proverbial window, go down the grate.
No, there's going to be, but I mean, the first riots we had over on Lake Street, a curfew, you got to go, and okay, everybody's still standing there at 6 o'clock. So now what do? You're giving them a chance to be defiant. Just, you know.
I get what you're saying.
I do not. I would not impose curfews. I would just, you know, because you're giving them a target, or at least make it 9 o'clock at night or something.
Well, you're resting my case when I said earlier, I think the Twins I understand St. Peter's sentiment, and they're doing the right thing socially, they think. But I don't like the precedent they're establishing, because you got a long summer ahead of you here, and we have no idea what problems we face. And if you're going to start killing games because of this, you're not going to get in 30 home games.
Well, it's a day game too. If it was a
know.
night game, it would be very easy to say. So,
Well,
yeah,
maybe I'll
I don't know. Well, we're not. There's a possibility that they're going to be. You know, if the trial turns out in a certain way, we might not play here this summer.
Maybe
they might be playing in Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
I was just going to suggest they can use Faribault's ballpark. I'll help set it all up, and we'll charge a nice fee. It'll be just
And
fine.
Miguel might be able to hit a home run there. You know, one of his pop-ups. He did have a 700-foot pop-up the other day when I was there, straight up. But
Wow.
You've already used that nickname now. You can't pop up.
Pop-up.
Are the Twins gone this weekend? Or are they
Yes,
still
they're in
home?
Anaheim.
Anaheim.
So they're.
They were supposed to be home through
the
Thursday?
4 games with the Red Sox, who, by the way, were supposed to be pathetic. They started off, they got swept at home by Baltimore, the first time in history that they got swept in an opening series at Fenway.
Much
Their
less
first
by
time
Baltimore.
in 100 years. And now they've won 6 in a row, and they're killing the ball. J.D. Martinez, they tried to give him away. Nobody take him. He hit 3 home runs yesterday.
You know what? It's a funny game, isn't it?
It
Pat?
is. It's an odd game. You know what I've been thinking? I was thinking when they blew that game yesterday, that T-shirt, S happens,
Yes.
that was invented for baseball.
Oh, yeah.
It was invented for baseball. More than any other game, that happens. You know. Now hockey, some of that happens in hockey too. You know, because
Well, it happens in every. It happens in golf.
yeah, it does. Yeah. Matsuyama, how are you pronouncing that?
Hideki Matsuyama.
Yeah, ma. I don't do the ma very well. I get there.
Matsuyama.
I get there, but I don't do the ma.
Ma.
But when he hit it in water on 15, rolled it over in the water, you were wondering, is he going to get him back in the ball game here? And then they decided to hand it to him anyway.
Well, the bird didn't go home. He was on the driving range as Hideki's lead continued to shrink.
Boy, is that trap in the left side of the fairway on 18 become a pain, isn't it? Mm-hmm. A lot of guys hit it in there, and a lot of guys make 5 out of that thing. So they must have moved that thing way back from way further up the hill than it used to be.
Did you like all the aerial footage of the course? Well, you didn't watch much of it, did you? They seem to have a lot of drone coverage of the course, and it just you can't make it not lovely. You just can't make it.
Drones
not
are cheap. Good way to.
Yeah, that's true.
The old golf director that the same guys directed golf for like 40 years. They got to have some new high tech guys doing it now with give us a drone shot here and a drone shot there. But I don't know. I was wondering when I was listening to some of these essays. Now, Wright Thompson's actually a friend of mine. I like him a lot, but he was doing some essay on Thursday about all these romantic essays to this place, and I was thinking I can't remember what I did when I was first there 40 years ago, but I was thinking, boy, I hope I didn't write that crap.
I do get tired of the obsequiousness.
Yes, it's unbelievable.
Oh, is that a bleep that word, Rook?
Yeah. Well, he left. didn't he?
Obsequious?
No, he's here.
Obsequious.
I know.
It's very.
I know the word.
snobby.
I don't think I could get my E's and A's all in the right order on that. So,
Mayor Jacob Fry has just announced a curfew in Minneapolis from 7 p.m. tonight to 6 a.m. tomorrow, and has also declared a state of emergency in the city.
So what's going on down there?
You're practically encouraging people to act.
But
Are we already breaking windows downtown?
I don't know, but I say that, but I guarantee that's why the Twins. He probably went to the Twins and said, "I've got to do this," and that's probably why the Twins then reacted the way that they did.
Well, he's a very impressive, forceful man. So I'm sure the people will listen. I'm sure the people will listen to him.
Say that again. Say that again. He's a very what now?
Impressive, forceful man. My first feud with him was over the All-Star fireworks.
I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it.
Remember when he was the, I savaged
Nazi.
I savaged him. I said, yes, when it comes back 25 years from now again, we'll make sure that they don't shoot them off, Mayor. Yeah. It's hard to replace Bike Lane Betsy and be worse, but he might be.
Joe, go ahead.
Well, Pat, with each new mayor, you'll regret the previous one.
Regret the previous one isn't still there, right?
Right.
How do we get George Latimer back?
Oh man! In a second.
Prop him up in his chair, give him a shawl, and put him in the office.
You know, is Charlie Stenvig like the last Republican in Minneapolis?
Pretty much.
Charlie, you know that Charlie was a golf nut.
I didn't know
and he
that.
played with Eddie Manderville and all the black guys over at Worth. He was like a golf buddy of all those guys over at Worth. They all loved Charlie.
Come across from St. Paul?
Huh?
Was he?
No, Charlie was Minneapolis.
Minneapolis, okay.
Yeah. Charlie would, he played golf with all those hustlers over at Theodore Worth, all the black guys. Charlie. I said, who's Charlie? Stenvig, the mayor. He played golf with them. So.
Wolves and the Wild have also announced postponements of tonight's games. So, hashtag as expected.
Boys, somebody knows something we don't know.
Well, I want to know if I can cut. I don't want to drive home on the freeway because it'll be blocked up. I wonder if I can slip through downtown yet.
You need to make a move.
I know, but my move is usually Plymouth Avenue, and I might pass on that.
Yeah, I would avoid.
I might pass on
that.
that.
Well, I got things to do, so let's get going here.
All right.
You gotta go.
Now I'm thinking, what the hell? I'm going to get caught in something.
Hey, you better get out there and go for a walk.
What do you have to do?
Right. You can't go
What
to
do
the
you
bank.
think, Pat?
Go to
Take
the
a
bank.
walk?
Oh, I got to go to the bank.
Okay.
He's got to go see Mr. Potter.
Okay. Go to the
My God,
bank.
he's
Got the money wrapped up in a newspaper, and I'll leave it on the counter.
I wish I had to go to the bank. There was 2 days last week when Thursday and Friday I didn't get any mail? What the hell's going on? Are they?
You're at that point in your life where you're looking forward
No,
to the mail.
no.
Huh?
I'm looking
Holy
for a
crap.
check, obviously.
Oh, okay.
But what are they? This crazy ass postal director we
What
got
are
who
they-
doesn't like people delivering mail.
Right.
Has he now eliminated days? I know he wanted to eliminate days.
I can't answer that, Pat. I don't know.
I wonder if your check's coming today.
That was a great cartoon. I think it was in the New Yorker, or maybe the Wall Street Journal. What's the guy's name, the postal director?
Jim,
Eric.
I'm looking it up.
And he's being questioned by the
Yeah.
guys in suits, and he's sitting there, and they say, "Aren't you worried you're going to get a subpoena?" And he said, "Not if it's coming by mail."
That's funny.
That is good. You know, he and Manfred had the same problem.
Yeah.
Manfred runs baseball and he hates baseball.
Oh, that's true.
And this guy runs the post office and he hates postal
and he hates
service.
mail.
He hates mail. It's the same
I'm
thing.
going to nominate myself to be the postmaster.
There
I'd
you
love
go.
it.
Say, how about one last thing on the trumpeter? They had him make the speech, and they went to Mar-a-Lago to hear it, and he vowed to bring everyone together, and then basically savage McConnell and his wife and
Right.
Pence and everybody
Ripped
else.
Pence, right.
Yes, and you know what he said to him? You screwed up. You trusted me.
I'm reading Carl Hyacint's newest one called "Squeeze Me."
And last one, right? He's quitting.
Well, he quit the newspaper. I don't think he's
Oh, I
quitting
thought
the
he was
novels.
quitting novels, but maybe I'm
But
wrong.
it's a send up of Trump at Mar-a-Lago that is belly laugh.
Okay, I
hilarious.
got to go buy it.
It's
All right.
belly laugh hilarious.
Beautiful. I left my lead child book accidentally in Florida. I was about 2/3 of the way done. I'm not sure. The one he wrote with his brother.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Or
if
his
I
kid,
want-
isn't it his kid?
It's his brother, I believe.
Oh, I haven't seen that one.
I will say this, that my bride picked up one of Johnny Camp's novels. I don't know which one.
Well, there have been many.
She's a big Virgil fan.
She could have stolen about half of them out of my. I left a bunch of them in the
I think
bookcase.
that went with the. I think
think
it was full.
Is that added value then for the buyer? Look at all this.
Yeah, right. Hell, they got a bicycle.
Wow.
They got the wife's bicycle. How am I gonna bring that back?
Could have pedaled that thing home.
Yeah, right. I could have. I'd be getting here. I'd be in Nashville about now.
Get off the road, you fat.
You got to go to the bank. See you later.
All right, gang.
We'll see.
See you, bro.
All right, hang in.
Everyone has gone mad in March trying to narrow the field down to 16. This is Patrick Ricey for the Canopy Group, and they have their 16 for you. Canopy Group has 16 different insurance companies, giving them options to provide you the best home and auto insurance coverage at the best price, by the way. The difference is that the Canopy Group has options. They continue to use their 16 different companies to match with you the company providing the best coverage at the best price. They do this year in and year out. They just moved me and saved me a bundle. I am a believer. Get in the game. Contact the Canopy Group and get them working on your brackets. Bracketology isn't foolproof. Sure bet is the Canopy Group, saving you on an average $810 on your home. That's $810 on your home and auto insurance. Visit thecanopygroup.com. Thecanopygroup.com.
If you want the best lawn on the block all season long, hook up with a Minnesota-grown lawn care company that knows that dandelions, mystery weeds, bare spots, and blight are completely unacceptable. That's ProfessionalTurf.com. If you want service techs with 20 years of experience, techs who throw down a combination of environmentally friendly weed killer and slow-release long-term fertilizers, then visit ProfessionalTurf.com. And you know what? While you're on the website, take a close look at their landscape projects, and don't forget, they'll service your irrigation system too. You will have the most lush and luxurious lawn on the block. It's our one-stop for exceptional landscape irrigation services and the best lawn on the block, ProfessionalTurf.com.
Hey, it's Reavers here once again for Josh Arnold, Mr. Money Talk. And Josh has a very simple question for you, and it's, do you know what you own? You see, Mr. Money Talk, Josh Arnold's clients, they always know what they own. And Josh has found that most people that he meets with every single day, they have no idea. Josh has seen retirement portfolios that have a big percentage in bonds, and there are real instances of people paying more in commissions and fees than they can possibly make on the rate of return that these bonds currently yield. So Josh begs of you, know what you own, and make sure you tune in to Garage Logic every Tuesday and Thursday for Mr. Money Talk's report. You're going to hear it from himself. That's right, Josh joins us every Tuesday and Thursday in Garage Logic. Trust is often overused, and it's even harder to find. Please, you can take it from me that you can trust Josh. Give him a call today for that free 48-minute financial consultation at 952-925-5608. That's 952-925-5608.
Investment advisor services offered by Josh Arnold Investment Consultant, LLC, a registered advisor in the state of Minnesota. Past performance is no guarantee of future results. All investments involve risk.